I'm Anil Kumar, and the idea of doing these questions is to explain you the mistakes which we could sometimes do, right? Solving quadratic equation is not a very difficult job, but at times we do make a lot of mistakes, and let's avoid them. So the whole idea is to look into the possibilities of making an error, okay? Now we have a question here which says 8x squared equals to 18, and I'm writing a similar question on the right side, and that is 8x squared equals to 18x, right? I'd like you to solve this question. First we'll solve the question which is already there on this sheet. So why I have written this, we'll get to that also. So let's start with 8x squared equals to 18. So what can we do? What we can do here is we can say, well, x squared equals to 18 divided by 8, and that means when you divide 18 by 8, both could be divided by 2, right? So we get 9 over 4. So we get 9 over 4. So once we get 9 over 4, we can say, well, x is equals to square root of 9 over 4, right? Now, square root of 9 over 4 means square root of 9 is 3, and square root of 4 is 2. So we get an answer as 3 over 2. So that is the answer which I've seen so many times in a test paper. Now, what is wrong in this solution? What is wrong in this solution? A mistake here is that when you square root it, we should consider both plus and minus signs, right? And therefore the solution is not just 3 over 2, but the solution is plus and minus 3 over 2. That is the mistake here, right? So which we need to avoid. So this is what I wanted to teach you with this particular example. Now there's an alternate way of solving this which I prefer. Let me write down the alternate way also. So alternate solution. I'm not running into this space since we want to discuss that question also. It just came up in my mind, so I thought I'll share that also in the same video. Alternate solution is, whenever you have this kind of a situation, preferred way of doing is bring the terms together. So we have minus 18 equals to 0, right? Bring the terms together. Now factor the common things. You can factor 2, right? It's the same number with which you divided earlier, right? That is what factoring is. So you get 4x squared minus 9 equals to 0. Now this is difference of squares. You could factor this also, right? So we get 2 times, it is 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Perfect. So that gives you 2 solutions, right? These are the 2 solutions, and your solutions are indeed x is equals to minus 3 over 2 and x is equals to plus 3 over 2, right? So you get both the solutions, right? So if you follow this method, you don't make these mistakes, right? You don't make these mistakes. So that is a better method to use, correct? Now let's get back to the second question which I have just written for you. So let's do this question 2. So this is question 1, and what we learned here is whenever you square root, you have to add plus and minus. Now in this, let me first go ahead with a wrong solution, okay? So I will say what we should not do, right? So I say should not do. So first let me do what we should not do, right? And then we will say what we should do. Should not do what? So we have 8x squared equals to 18x. We could cancel out x's, right? So from here we can cancel 2's also. So we can, if I cancel by 2's, you get 4x equals to, well, 9, right? Dividing by x and 2, right? Both. So if I divide by x, I get rid of x's, and if I divide by 2, I get 4 here and 9 there, and so I get x is equals to 9 over 4 as my solution, right? Now that is a huge mistake. Now what is the mistake here? We'll see when we do the correct solution. So how should we do? Now the correct way is like this. Correct solution. Correct solution is let's follow the steps which we did here. That is, bring the terms together. So what we have here is 8x squared minus 18x equals to 0. Now what is common here is 2x. So we have 2x as common. We're left with x minus 9 equals to 0. Now when will this be 0? When will this be 0? So sorry, when you take 2 common, this is 4x. Let me rewrite this, sorry. 2x equals to, when I divide this by 2, we get 4x. 4x minus 9 equals to 0. When will this be 0? This is going to be 0 for also x equals to 0. Do you see that? X equals to 0 or x equals to 9 over 4. Do you see that? We get two solutions. One for x equals to 0. That is also a factor. 2x is a factor, which will be 0 when x is 0. And then 4x minus 9 equals to 0, which we solved here kind of, gives us second solution, 9 over 4. So we have two solutions. Do you see that? We have two solutions. And therefore this was incomplete or wrong. It was as bad as this one. Do you see that? So instead of two solutions, we got just one, correct? So that is kind of a thing which we should keep in mind. Do you see that? So we have now our answer, and the answer here in this case is that x is equals to 0 or 9 over 4. So I hope you understand and appreciate that to solve quadratic equations, we should actually bring the terms together, factor, and then solve. Or if it is not possible to factor, bring them together, use quadratic formula, and then solve. But do not cancel the terms. If you cancel the terms, you are actually striking off one of the solution with every cancel, right? So that's the whole idea. I hope you appreciate it. You can subscribe to my videos and learn more about such tricks or tips. Thank you and all the best.